Coming up on this edition of The Solo Show.
I don't know if that goat is still there since the last time you've been on it.
Probably not, yeah.
He might have moved, He might.
Yeah.
Let me look. I'm looking for the itinerary right now as we're talking.
Yeah.
Because that would be interesting if there's really blue ice type of thing.
Yeah, it's such a blue I've never seen before and haven't seen since.
Let's see. They're showing me my 7-night Alaskan cruise from Vancouver. You'd think they would show you a itinerary.
The Solo Show welcomes the big fat panda himself, John Saccheri, for a trip report. The Solo Show is brought to you, as always, by Victor Naraki Realtor, serving Disney in the greater Orlando area with celebratingflorida.com and disneyatyourdoorstep.com. The future is bright indeed. We're all of us dreaming of the better days ahead, and a part of your bright new future could be a move to where the magic lives in the greater Orlando area of Florida. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. Victor Naraki is the realtor who can help you make the move you've always wanted to. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or looking to move near Disney World, Victor is in your corner. If you are looking for an experienced real estate agent covering all of Central Florida, please visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com today and find out just why you should work with Victor. I encourage you to create a free, no-obligation account on his website. By doing so, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com today or visit his Facebook page, Victor Naraki Realtor. And don't forget to tell him The Solo Show sent you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final boarding call and the doors will be closing soon. Please board quickly and safely. Please stand clear of the doors. Thank you.
Broadcasting from the Solo Studios, cleverly located in the third row of Turtle Talk here at Disney's California Adventure. Here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the center of North America, on this little planet we call Earth, this is the Solo Show. On this adventure, it's a trip report. You can see we really enjoy those. And we're really happy to welcome the big fat panda himself, John Saccheri, to the show as he tells us about his Disney cruise to Alaska. It's time to get out your passport to fun and laughter. And don't forget your galoshes. And now, please welcome your host, the man who got his recipe for turtle soup from Crush. Dude, that's just creepy. Here's Stan Solo!
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Solo Show. I am Stan Solo as always, and joining me today is my good friend and yours, Mr. Big Fat Panda himself, John Saccheri. Welcome to the show. How are you today, my friend?
Thank you so much, Stan.
You know what? You've been on a couple of times now. A couple more, you get the Solo Show gold jacket.
Like the SNL jacket?
Like the SNL jacket, yeah. I guess I got to do a different color. No, gold is good. Black and gold jacket you get.
Black and gold jacket is good.
Yeah. So we're doing a part 1, part 2 trip report. We're going to talk to John. He has an exciting trip coming up. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll find out how his trip went. So, John, first of all, where are you going?
I never thought these words would emanate from my mouth. I am going to Alaska on a Disney cruise and also staying a little bit in Vancouver prior and post cruise. Pre and
nice.
Post.
Vancouver is like probably Canada's most beautiful city.
Is it even Canada? Say. I didn't know that. I'm kidding. Yeah, I know. I wish I could visit you, but Canada's so huge, you're nowhere near it.
I'm nowhere near it. Yeah, no, it's like a 5-day drive for me to get to Vancouver.
Yeah, come over.
And with my electric car, it's more like 30 days, I think.
So, and apparently we're staying at the Pan Pacific, which is right at the port.
I stayed there. That is an amazing, amazing hotel. And they come and check your luggage. I think it's the night before.
That's what I heard, to go on.
And they bring it to your room. You don't even have to check your luggage onto the ship.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You do have to go through customs at the port because you're leaving Canada going into the U.S.
Okay.
That's something to be aware of. Are you flying, obviously?
No, we're going to walk. We're going to walk.
Okay.
Florida, yeah. Yes, we're flying
it's not a direct flight, is it?
No, it's Delta from Orlando to Seattle. And then what Pete Werner, Dreams Unlimited Travel, tells me it was a propeller plane from Seattle to Vancouver. I have since found out it is an Embraer. It is a jet, a small jet now Delta uses. They used to use the propeller.
You should
So
take
I'm
one
a
of the
little
water
bit-
planes. Take a water plane, man.
What's a what? Is that one that lands on the water?
Yeah, it lands on the
No.
water.
No. No, I'm good. I'm good with staying dry.
Alrighty. So Pan Pacific, yeah, that is great. You'll be able to see the Olympic Cauldron if you kind of explore Vancouver a bit. It's right beside the Pan Pacific.
We're going to have 3 nights in Vancouver. So is that something that most people would know to see the Olympic Cauldron? I have to make sure I mention that.
I mean, I do. I'm a big Olympic fan, so
yeah, you run with the torch, yeah.
For those very Olympics. The flame I held, Wayne Gretzky lit the cauldron with.
I can, these are Disney fans, so I can just say we have to go see the Black Cauldron and see if. Oh, sorry, I meant the Olympic Cauldron.
Before you arrive in Canada, make sure you have the ArriveCan app on your phone loaded and ready to go.
Doing that today.
You have to do. Anything in Canada you're particularly looking forward to?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Tim Hortons.
No, Hortons coffee. Yeah.
Never mind. Tim, do you like Reese's peanut butter cups?
Yeah, not the biggest fan of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Okay, because they got the Reese's peanut butter donuts now at Tim Hortons for limited time. It should still be there. Okay.
I'll let you know. I'll take a bite if it's there. But
it's right across the
street.
Coffee. It's right across the street from Pan Pacific. They got amazing Tim Hortons there. So
I will be visiting Tim Hortons often in those 3 days.
Yeah.
I also have to watch clothes because let's just talk weather. I'm really nervous about it. Apparently, it's warm enough where I could do, a long sleeve shirt and shorts in the day and then cold at night. I'm a big guy. My clothes they're not light. To fit all these things for a 12-day trip is scaring me.
Okay, I've done the Alaska cruise twice, and I pretty much wore shorts and t-shirts the entire time.
Really? Okay, yeah, and we're doing it in August.
You're going in September, which is even warmer.
No, August. It's this month.
Oh, you're going August? Okay, yeah. So
I'm leaving in 4 days.
Yeah, that's going to be even warmer. I went in the spring. Mind you, I'm a Canadian boy. It's...
Listen, I've got some meat on my bones. I don't chill too quickly.
All right. So okay. Do you have any ports planned on the cruise?
We do. Me and Jackie Gailey have booked some tours for ourselves that we thought we would like to do. Like some of the other people, like Rhino and Craig, they're doing kayaking. And I'm like, no, thanks. Have fun, guys.
Yeah, I've never done the kayaking.
So we have a thing where we go see, what is it? Some glacier recreation area.
Okay.
And then they take us in a golf cart through a rainforest.
Okay.
I think that's in Skagway.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Don't bring any food with you, or don't put any food in your bag or anything like that because the bears could smell it. No granola bars, no.
Right, so then we're canceling. We're going to cancel that tour, and we're going to probably stay on the ship that day, unless the bears think that I'm part of the family, and then I just have to live with them for a couple of weeks.
How about whale watching? You have whale watching booked?
We did that in Hawaii, and I don't know if you've seen my video. We had 4 whales in a coordinated effort breach the water 3 times. I don't know if that can ever be topped. So whale watching doesn't excite me anymore since I seem to have hit the pinnacle of it in Hawaii. Okay. But it's very possible that we may do some of that too.
Okay.
We have a trolley tour somewhere booked also.
Okay, that's the one that goes up the mountain?
Not that gondola that's in the sky. Okay. These are trolleys on a street. I think it's in Juneau.
Okay.
So we do have a couple of tours booked.
Okay. One that I did that I don't know if you don't really like seafood though. It was all you can eat crab legs.
I would eat none. No.
You'd eat none? Okay, yeah, you're out of that one then. Yeah, never mind.
I need chicken tenders. Chicken tenders? Huh?
That's on the ship. That's on the ship. Okay. All you can eat chicken tenders.
They don't have the ocean chicken that I could. Chicken?
Is this your first time on the Wonder? I
think it is. Yes, I've been on the Magic, but I've never been on the Wonder. Yeah.
So you've been on the smaller ship already, so you're kind of used to that. Already.
And as long as they have that Cove Cafe, I am sold. Yeah. I don't have a veranda, but I have a nice big porthole, I think.
Okay.
So at least I can look out and see stuff, or obviously just go on the top deck.
Yeah. I assume you're doing the what's the heck called it? Where you go into and you see the
inside passage?
Yeah. And the ship turns around and comes back out again.
I know we're going back to Vancouver, so that would make sense. Yeah.
No. It's the I can't remember what it's called. You go in and it's absolutely beautiful. You see the blue icebergs all around you.
Ooh. Yeah. And that's not the inside passage. That's something else.
It might be the inside passage. It's a special name for it though. But the ship goes in and it does a complete turnaround and then it comes back out.
Let's see. As
And
we're talking,
you see sea lions. If you look really, really closely, you can see a mountain goat in the mountains and stuff
I
like
don't
that.
know if that goat is still there since the last time you've been on it.
Probably not. Yeah.
He might have moved. He might.
Yeah.
Let me look. I'm looking for the itinerary right now as we're talking.
Yeah.
So, because that would be interesting if there's really blue ice type of things.
Yeah. It's the rare. Such a blue I've never seen before and haven't seen since. And
let's see. They're showing me my 7-night Alaskan cruise from Vancouver. You think they would show you a itinerary? And here we go. Okay. Vancouver, 4 p.m. it leaves the first day. At sea the next day. Dowis Glacier the third day. Skagway the next day. 5th day is Juneau. 6th day is Ketchikan. 7th day at sea. And then 8th day back in Vancouver. It does do some little turnaround, but it doesn't say. Is it supposed to say something?
It doesn't do that inside passage, I guess, anymore. Which is
they
possible.
say this is. They say this is the inside passage. Maybe it's just not saying it.
Yeah. Well, the inside passage is you're close to the shore pretty much the whole time. You'll have shore on either side of you at times.
Yes, that's this, because I'm looking at the map. We are literally. It looks like I can swim left or right at every moment.
Yeah, which is awesome if you're prone to motion sickness because there's not very many waves being that close to shore.
Cool.
It's when you get like you watch Deadliest Catch. And they got these monster waves that are 3 stories high. You won't see that doing it inside passage.
What I don't understand, and I guess just because they're high up, how if you can wear shorts sometimes, how is the ice staying ice if it's 60 degrees? I know that ice needs 32 degrees or below. How is it?
Well, I guess it's so big that it melts so slowly, and then it refreezes in the winter, and that's what gets all the layers.
All right. I hope there's ice to look at.
Yeah. You'll see a lot of bald eagles. I'm not sure how prevalent they are in Florida. You'll see a lot of bald eagles. I know.
Hey. See, I'm just most looking forward to vistas that I never would see or thought I would see in my life. Like, I grew up in New York. I live in Florida. I don't like to fly often. So I just can't believe I'm going to see snow-capped mountains. As a matter of fact, the first time I saw a snow-capped mountain is when we flew to Seattle to connect to go to Hawaii, which is weird.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to Hawaii, and I look out the window, and I think it was Mount Rainier, and it was a snow-covered mountain. So I'm looking forward to seeing that and just being in awe, like, wow, look at this.
Yeah. Something I noticed that's kind of unique to, I guess, Alaska or anywhere north, the satellite dishes on the buildings. You have a satellite dish pointing to a satellite, it points up, right?
Yeah.
Well, because you're so far north and the satellite is kind of near the equator, the dishes actually point down.
Oh.
So keep your eye open for that. When you're
also, somebody said it's like daytime 19 hours of the day or more.
It should be, yeah. When you're going in August, it will be. It will be a lot of daylight.
So like 11 p.m. at night to go to bed, it may very well be light outside.
I believe so. I mean, it's dark here at 10, and you're going more north than I am.
That's just okay. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But
my brother used to live in Northwest Territories, and he had days he had like 3 months that was always daylight, and 3 months it was always night. The sun never came up.
I wonder if we can see is it the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights? What is it?
Most likely won't.
Okay.
That's more of a winter months. You'd see that.
Okay.
But very unlikely. Well, John, I hope you have a great time. I'm looking forward to hearing how your trip went.
I love that I have to go on the trip, but you can just like blink and all of a sudden I will have returned. Hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully we'll record part 2. So we'll be right back right after this.
Welcome aboard, Islanders. You are on the Disney Skyliner at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort.
Gondola Father, my cousin is coming down from the Tri-City area and can't get Space 220 reservations for when they will be here. Will you help me?
I can do you this favor under one condition.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we will be taking a scenic spin around the Skyliner turn station.
Wait, now I lost my train of thought. What did you want again?
I'm sorry, I said my cousin coming down from the Tri-City area and can't get...
Please remain seated. This station was designed for turning only.
I can do you this favor under...
Can't get...
You are on the Disney Skyliner at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort.
I'm gonna make him an offer that he can't... Oh, jeez.
Welcome aboard, Islanders.
Why did I ever think it was a good idea to do this on the gondola?
Probably never coming from Disney Plus Plus, The Gondola Father.
And we're back, but more importantly, John, you're back. You survived the bears and the big birds and the eagles and everything.
Well, I think I survived, actually. Yeah, no, and there was something that I did almost die, so I will tell you about that.
Okay, we'll get into that. What do you think of the Gondola Father? Is that something you're excited about?
The Gondola Father, that's a very good service that they provide at Disney, I think. Yeah. If you need advice, that's a great thing.
Yeah, exactly. He helps out everybody, that guy. He's awesome.
He really is helpful.
Hang on. Well, let's start off from the beginning. So you left Orlando. You went to, is it Seattle?
We went to Seattle, and then about 3 hours later from Seattle to Vancouver.
Okay.
We went 3 days earlier than the cruise, just in case something was. I have to tell you though, the flights were fine. Nothing got canceled.
Say, how are the flights? Okay, flights are good.
They were good. They were easy. I have to tell you, Delta. They have my confidence. I like Delta. Everybody seems happy.
Delta's like my favorite now.
Yeah,
it's my next 3 or 4 trips. My last one, my next 3 are all Delta.
Good. Vancouver was a nice city.
Was it a prop plane or was it a?
It was not. It was a small jet. There was 1 seat on one side and 2 on the other. That was okay, and it was still a jet. Still small, but a jet.
You didn't take the water plane I was telling you about? Did you see the water plane?
No, I saw a lot of water planes. They take off and land like crazy on the water.
I know. You could have taken a water plane from Seattle, man.
Yeah, I was good without doing that.
Okay, alrighty.
But let's talk Vancouver for a second. Very nice city.
Oh, yeah. Vancouver is amazing.
Although I felt like I was either in Japan or China because everyone was Asian in Vancouver.
It's high Asian content or population. High Asian population.
Pleasant people, fun people.
Oh, they're Canadian too.
Yeah, that's true. I had my Tim Hortons. I had which has a big line every morning. Tim Hortons at the Pan Pacific. The Pan Pacific was a great hotel because the boat, the Disney Cruise Line goes right outside it. Basically, it's connected to the port.
Yeah.
We found the food better in Vancouver than everything in the United States. The food is just better.
It's amazing. I had people that from the US that have eaten in Vancouver or in Canada, and they don't like it because we don't cook our burgers medium or rare, because burgers are always well done in Canada.
And that's why I like it, because I like my burger.
Yeah, same here.
And one of the items that we loved was when we heard it, we went, ew. We went to a place called Tap and Barrel, and they had a PB&J burger, peanut butter and jelly burger. We're like, no. So the person says, don't knock it until you try it. So we ordered it. Let me tell you, life-changing. Me and Pete Werner from the Diz just thought, wow. We went back and got it after the cruise again. It was so good.
I ate at the same restaurant and had the same burger.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What did you think of it? What did you think of it?
It was amazing. It's wonderful. Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. It's
and it doesn't sound like it's going to be good. You have to have it. You just have to eat
it. Yeah. How did you get from the airport to Pan Pacific? Now, if you took the water plane, you would just walk. But because
I'm going to call it a van limo. It was like a really nice decked out limousine that fit about 6 people.
Okay. And that was like a taxi type service, I guess, or is it
separate service that Pete had put together. Yeah.
Okay. One thing that's really nice about Vancouver is, rather than taking an Uber or Lyft or whatever, is I prefer to take the taxis, because what I don't like about taxis is you don't know what the price is going to be till you get there. But in Vancouver, they have everything kind of sectioned off. So what the price is going to be, and it's always the same price. So if you're going from the airport to the Pan Pacific, it's a set rate, and that's what the rate is.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's weird too is when we got to Vancouver, I was good about walking around the city. For some reason, it just felt very safe and friendly, even though there was a pretty big homeless population that would come up to you sometimes and ask for money. But it still didn't feel like Manhattan to me. It felt just safer and nicer. There was cafes on every corner and, very high-end shops and stuff. I thought the city was nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful city. Did you go for a walk along the waterway, I'm guessing, and all that?
Yeah. And then we went into the actual city, to the malls and stuff that were in there, Louis Vuitton and Versace and all those places, just to look around and stuff. But it was nice.
Vancouver is it's like the Hollywood of Canada. They film more. Other than Hollywood, I think Vancouver is like the number 2 spot for all of North America for filming.
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
So you got to see the ship come in from your room, or
It came in at like 6 a.m. I am not going to
Yeah.
lie and tell you I was awake.
See, I just happened to be up when I did the cruise, and I saw it from the room coming in. It was something to behold. But
That's
yeah, it
pretty
does
cool.
come in. It does come in at 6 in the morning. So you woke up, opened the curtains, and it's there. You had a
There it
beautiful
is.
room too. I saw your pictures on Facebook.
The room was really comfy. Yeah, the Pan Pacific was really nice. I liked it.
It's expensive, but it's a beautiful hotel.
Yes.
And they take your luggage, like we talked about in part 1, and they bring it to your room on the ship. You don't have to.
Yeah, that goes right. As long as you have the tag on and you tell them, it's going onto the ship, it gets onto the ship, which was pretty amazing.
Yeah. So you leave. Okay, so the Disney Wonder. This is your first time on a Disney Wonder.
First time on the Wonder.
The ship is now what? 24 years old.
Yep.
Last month.
It held up pretty good. I mean, I'm sure they're refurbishing it, but it still looks pretty good. And I like the ship. It's a more cozy, intimate ship, not as big as the Fantasy and the Dream or the Wish, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I love that the Cove Cafe is in the center. That was like a real spot that we were at like twice a day.
Yeah.
The Cove Cafe. And then, because it's, you're in Alaska and it's getting chilly. Sometimes instead of coffee, we did hot cocoa. And the lady, Daniela, who I loved in the Cove Cafe, she's got that voice like this. And she's like, John, why don't I put some raspberry into the hot cocoa for you? Okay, Daniela. And let me tell you, some raspberry in your hot cocoa is pretty good.
Really? I don't think I've had that.
It tasted like a jelly ring. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So you had the 3 excursions or the 3 ports.
3 ports, right? So just let me tell you first, as we're starting to go into Alaska, and I'm looking and I'm seeing mountains for the first time with these huge trees, and I'm realizing every now and then there's like a little cluster on an island, like a mountain island of houses, and I'm like, how are they getting electric? How are they getting food? I have questions about how these people live. If you don't have a boat, there's no way you can live on this little island, but there's a few of them, and there's little tiny like 10 houses. I don't understand. I don't know what their address is. I need answers one day.
How do they get mail?
How do you get Amazon Prime? I don't know.
You get Amazon Prime? Yeah.
So our first stop was Skagway, and we did take a little streetcar tour there, which was like a trolley type thing, and we learned like how tiny the town is. We learned that Skagway has 5 saloons and not one doctor. Not one. There's not one doctor.
How they don't have it? Seriously,
they have a nurse practitioner if you get strep throat. If it's anything more than that, you have a $30,000 helicopter airlift to take you out of there to Juneau, I think.
Oh my gosh,
I know, right? So then they opened up a skateboard rink for the kids, a skateboard park, and sure enough,
anybody breaks their arm,
right? One kid broke his leg, $30,000 helicopter ride. So there's still no doctor there. I don't know why they're not going there, but a lot of saloons.
Canadian province, they usually got free healthcare, and that would cover the helicopter ride.
As a matter of fact, they told us that to get like vegetables and stuff was very expensive in Skagway because sometimes they just don't. Like an avocado is like $10, and sometimes it's less expensive to go to Canada and do your food shopping and come back. So this lady took an hour and a half car ride or 3 hours to Canada and realized it was a Canadian holiday and the grocery store was closed. And she was like, wow, I came all the way here and I can't do my grocery shopping. So she came back home. But that was sad for that day.
Yeah, I mean, check those things before you go.
Yes. And there's a lot of vegetables they can't bring. Like you can't bring a banana back from Canada. Some vegetables you can, but something about a banana. I don't know what you guys are doing out there to
Most
the bananas.
fruit you can't. Most fruit you can't bring back. Yeah, I mean, like even like I go to the U.S. often, and I have an apple and orange every day, so I buy my apples and oranges when I'm in the U.S.
What's up?
Which is ridiculous because the apples and oranges are grown in the U.S. I can't bring them back to it.
It doesn't make sense. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see if it was bushels full, but if it's a single banana, come on, guys, just stop it.
Yeah. Well, they bring bushels in. Like we get. They bring oranges to Canada from the U.S. in by the truckloads, but Crazy. You can't bring one orange across the border when you're. So go ahead.
The next stop was, I think, Juneau.
Juneau, yeah, would have been next.
And there was our brush with death. We went. Me and Jackie Gailey went on a tour that took us to Mendenhall Glacier, which was really nice. Although the people
on the golf cart you were talking about in part 1.
Yes. There
Okay.
was the Mendenhall Glacier was not the golf cart. That was just walking around, and they told you that the glacier was a lot closer years ago. So it's melting fast.
Mhm.
Pretty soon there's going to be no ice to look at.
Yeah.
Then we went on this. I'm not going to call it a golf cart. I'm going to say that it's similar to the Animal Kingdom Safari Ride Kilimanjaro vehicle.
Okay.
So, when I say similar, smaller and scarier with no border on your left and right, you can just fall out of your left or right.
Mhm.
And we go up this mountain where this person built a quote unquote rainforest, which is just a mountain of wilderness. And
Hang on,
the
he built
top,
a rainforest on the mountain.
basically, yeah, he just decided to grow flowers and stuff on this mountain.
Okay.
And the mudslides have taken a lot of the road up the mountain out. So he rebuilt it with logs that look, I'm going to make a video of this soon that you can see. The tire of this vehicle that goes up the mountain, 800 feet, like 4 times the size of Cinderella's castle we're going. The tire is barely on the road going up. If it just goes a little bit to the left and falls off, the entire bus with people is going down this mountain and everybody's dying. There is
And
no
creating
way to
another
live.
mudslide.
If there is a mudslide, it was raining. It rains like 28 days out of the year. So there's going to be another mudslide.
I mean, 28 days out of the month.
This is an accident waiting to happen. I'm telling you, Disney should not let people on the rainforest part. I am steadfast about my opinion. You will see it in the video. And then in the rainforest, they tell you that everything is hiker's nightmare plants. I'm like, oh, why do they call them that? Well, I take a close-up of some of the plants, and you can see why they're called hiker's nightmare, because they are just spindlies that'll poke you and kill you. Everything is barbed wire. All the plants that you would hit as you fall down to your death is barbed wire. So before you die again. It's crazy.
No,
is
this one of those situations where, like, I had a friend that went to Kilimanjaro safaris, and they thought that the bridge was actually a rickety old bridge that they could make it, and they thought there was actual elephant poachers on the safari, and Disney couldn't control them. And they actually wrote a letter to Disney saying, you would think by now you'd be able to control these African elephant poachers on your own property. Is this one of those situations, John, where you weren't really in danger, but it felt like you were?
Oh, no. This was real danger. There was no special effects at all.
Oh,
I wish there was. You'll see the video. When I get the video, I'll send you a link. You will see.
Okay.
Then and again, the scenery is gorgeous. There's nothing like Alaska. It is different. I am definitely more of a Caribbean person. I would rather palm trees and crystal clear water if I had a choice. But to see it once in your life with the salmon and the goats that we saw and the seals and the very, very blue ice, like it looks like you colorized it. It looks like we did something to my videos that we shouldn't have, but we didn't. It's just the ice is just very blue. It's
blue
gorgeous
color I have never seen anywhere else before or since. It is, and the pictures don't do it justice. I don't care how good of a photographer you are. Seeing it in person is way better than seeing it in any pictures or videos you're ever going to see.
I agree.
Yeah.
The next stop was Ketchikan, which felt more like a city, and it felt like it was more progressive. Maybe instead of going back, by the way, to Skagway and stuff, there were brothels, literal saloons where you walk through the swinging two doors and you look for Big Bad Bart and you order your drink downstairs and the ladies are waiting for you upstairs, with little rooms, and they're still functioning.
I didn't realize they're still functioning.
Still functioning, unless it was for show. They were out the window saying, "Hey, honey, come on up," and it was
I assumed it was all for show.
It could be. Yeah.
I mean,
she was walking up the wrong tree with me, but I was ready to just go check. It was called the Red Onion, and it was fun, just to look at. Yeah. But back in Ketchikan, we, Jackie and I, after a duck tour we did, which is, the amphibious vehicles like they have at Boathouse. This was a bigger version of that, kind of like the Kilimanjaro Safari vehicle that drives on land. Yeah, and then goes in the water and does its little thing in the water and then goes back on land. We did that, and we saw the whole place. And then we went to eat at one of the restaurants there, because she loves fish. I do not like fish. And Jackie thought that, the salmon and all that stuff was just great. I was shocked that they put raisins in the coleslaw. Is that a Canadian thing? Is that an Alaska?
You guys don't put raisins in your coleslaw?
Okay, we can't talk anymore and we can't be friends. No, nobody puts raisins.
That's what makes the coleslaw is the raisins.
Nobody in the United States has heard of raisins with coleslaw. They will tell you that on this video, hopefully on this audio podcast. It's not a thing. I thought there was. I thought there.
My mom used to. My mom used to, but my wife.
Really?
My wife doesn't. Yeah.
I thought there were bugs in my coleslaw, and I was eating beetles because I was like, "What is this? I don't know coleslaw."
They have an open window in the kitchen, obviously.
It could be. Then we did a lumberjack show, which is in Ketchikan. They have a whole, great Alaskan lumberjack show. A lot of fun, mostly for kids, but a lot of fun. We thought it was fun. Kind of like, do you remember the one they did in Canada in Epcot. When they got rid of Off Kilter?
I heard about it, and I never got an opportunity to see it. It wasn't there for very long.
I think I have video on it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen videos. Yeah.
And let's see what else. Then we just continued the ship. The ship itself, they have blankets at night. Even though, to me, I didn't find anything that cold. Everything was like 70 degrees in the day and maybe 60 at night. Maybe it got to 55. So when we were on the deck at night on the ship looking out trying to find the Northern Lights, which I didn't see, but a couple of people did see, they have blankets that they just keep handing out.
I wanted to ask you about the Northern Lights because in part one, I said, yeah, you won't see them this time of year. The Northern Lights have been gorgeous this year.
Yeah, and they said that it was high activity.
Yeah, they've been. I have a friend that lives up a little bit further up north, and every single night, my neighbors even said they were seeing them out here where I am. So
wow,
yeah,
you should try to take a picture.
I didn't see them. I missed them. I found out the next day that they were out.
It was like at 1 o'clock in the morning. People were on the ship when it was clear, and they took pictures. You could see the green hue and the looked like a laser show in the sky. It was pretty great.
Yeah, I have seen them like in my city, and when I used to live further up north, I saw them every night. Just about like it was like probably 200 times a year. Like
very cool.
Yeah,
we saw seals in the water catching salmon. We saw the white mountain goats, which freaked me out because
I told you there was mountain goats in part one. You said, "Oh, I'm sure the goat moves, Stan. I'm not going to see no goats." You said.
We saw goats. We saw 2 white mountain goats, and it looked just like when you go on It's a Small World and they have that fake goat on the mountain. It looked just like that. But what I don't understand is, where do they go? Like, I looked. There was nowhere for him to go left. There was nowhere for him to go right. There was nowhere to go forward because he'd fall into the ocean. And if he went up, he just has to try to get to another higher level to do it all over again. I'm like, do you ever rest? Is there ever not a worry? I'm worried all the time.
Like
I don't know.
Standing. Yeah.
How could they lie down? They would tip over, I would think.
Yeah.
I have more questions. I have questions. Where do they poop? Where do they eat? What's the social activity? What's the fun of the day? I don't get it. Then we didn't see any bears, but we saw, they talked about bears. And told us if you see one, do not run.
I think I mentioned to you, don't bring food with you when you go on that golf cart ride.
Oh, they said it. They said you can't bring any food with you at all.
Don't bring any.
Even the Mendenhall Glacier walking tours.
Yeah.
You can't have even like a suck on candy in your pocket. They will find you.
Yeah. I know. We actually,
and I think I'm probably delicious on my own, so I'm already scared because I'm probably delicious.
When I did the walking tour, we actually did see a bear. Well, I did, but people in my party saw a bear, so they're there for sure. The grizzly bears.
The first thing I would do is think of running my fat butt around to get away.
Exactly. No, Craig, you mentioned in part one that Craig was going to do the whitewater rafting, and
he did. Craig and Rhino
do that now. Would that have been safer, you think, than going up that mountain?
It probably would have been safer, yeah. But no, me in a kayak would have not been good. I think him and Rhino did it. I know that Rhino said something about the constant paddling of it was like, it got tiring or something, but they enjoyed it. I'm sure there's video coming of that for sure. Craig definitely videoed stuff.
Watch for that on the Diz.
Yeah, Craig is pretty much a master of doing like 17,000 things at once with his camera. I'm like OCD worried about my camera. Craig is switching lenses on kayaks, going down mountains and changing filters and wiping off lenses. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Getting back to the wonder, we found the food in the main dining rooms not as good as some of the other ships, I will say. Not that we didn't have any good meals, we did, but we noticed some of them were lacking. Although we loved the Tiana's place. The entertainment there was great. The jazz piano guy, John, we met, was great. The singers, the big bass. It was, they got the people off their feet at dinner and was doing like a conga line throughout the whole thing. Lewis, the alligator, comes in with his little parasol. It was really a fun restaurant.
Yeah, that's fairly new to the Wonder. I think that opened like 2018, 2017. On the Wonder.
Think so. It's
when they
great.
went into refurbishments. Yeah, that is great. I can't remember which town it was, but there was one of them between Ketchikan, Juneau, and Skagway. I was talking to one of the local guys, and he was
I
telling me
don't
that he
think
said,
we stopped there though.
no, you stopped at Ketchikan, Skagway, and
Yeah, but
Juneau.
we didn't stop in a town in between.
Oh, you didn't? No, at one of those towns, at one of those 3 towns. I can't remember which one it was, but there's no roads to the town. There's
Juneau,
no
I
highway.
believe. I believe it's Juneau.
Yeah, so
They
he said
said you cannot get there by driving. It has to be by boat or aircraft. Yeah.
well, there's a third way you can get there.
Uh-oh.
Birth canal.
Oh, that's true. You can just arrive there.
You could be born there. Yes, that's the third way.
Well, without a doctor, I don't know. No, that's Skagway that has no doctor. Juneau has the doctor.
Yeah, Juneau had the doctor. They fly here to Skagway or to Juneau from Skagway.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of other things of the wonder. We really liked the ship just because it was that smaller ship. You know what else I liked about it? The show area. Because there's no balcony in the big theater where they show the Broadway style shows, you can sit in the back and still have a great view of the show. Whereas on the newer ships, because of the balcony, if you sit in the back, it does cut off your view of the top a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you like on the Wish and the Dream and stuff, if you sit in the back, you still see the show okay, but you definitely have a foot or two cut off from the big spectacle when they do stuff on the top of the stage, which they do occasionally. So you always have to go up like 10 or 11 rows just to get rid of that.
Yeah, I've never sat in the back before on those on the Fantasy. Did you notice the satellite dishes? I talked about that in part 1. Did you happen to? You don't have to go off the trash to see them.
No, I did notice them, and I was on the front of the ship. I think when we were at Palo, I looked up and I did see satellite dishes. But aren't they on every cruise ship?
No, in the towns in Alaska.
Oh,
on people's houses and stuff.
I did not. I noticed what I thought was a normal amount of satellite dishes. So nothing stood out to me as, oh my God, there's a lot. But that's because I wasn't.
They point down though the satellite dishes.
Oh.
If you have a satellite dish, you live in one of these Alaska towns, and you have a satellite dish on your roof to pick up television, aim it down because the satellites are around the equator.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So
I mean, you told me that. I remember you told me that, but I didn't. Yeah. I didn't remember it.
You didn't get
I would have thought it was a Honey I Shrunk the Audience, a Honey I Shrunk the Kids type of machine trying to get me. So.
Get the kids in the backyard and shrink them.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the longer days. Did you notice that at all? Or did it feel normal?
It really didn't. It really flew over my head. I noticed it was like 9 o'clock and it was still light out, but it was getting dusk. And I think because I'm in Florida and I'm used to that. Like sometimes in Florida at 8 o'clock, you look outside and there's still sun. That by the time we were dead tired, by 10:30 at night, we were in our cabin, ready to go to bed because we had long days. It was the first time I got up at 7 in the morning and went to bed at 10. It was pretty good. It's healthy times. Whereas, at home, sometimes at 1 o'clock in the morning, you find yourself looking for a show on Netflix.
Yeah.
But so it didn't stand out too much to me, but it was definitely a thing. There was a time change, both going and coming, that they remind you about 100 million times. You're going to go an hour ahead, you're going to go an hour back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For people that are planning a Disney Wonder trip to Alaska, one of the things we should point out is that there is no fireworks on the Alaska cruises. You didn't miss that, I'm guessing?
Not at all, no. There was no pirate night also, so we didn't kind of miss that either. It was kind of like they did do something. I forgot what it was. I don't know, some Alaska thing. By the way, the first day, the characters, or I should say the first cruise day at sea, the characters are in their Alaskan clothes. I wish it was like that for the whole cruise, but it's not. Definitely see them because Minnie Mouse in her Alaskan fur and, Mickey Mouse dressed as the Gorton's fisherman. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's the only place you can get photos with them in those costumes.
And they also sell their little plushes in their costumes too, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I know listening to the Diz, Pete likes to buy all that jewelry when he goes to Alaska. There's some kind of special stone.
Yes.
Did he do that this trip? He talked about that in the past on the show.
Definitely did. And coming back into Canada, he's a real honest guy and declares everything to pay taxes on it when he has to. Let me tell you, the Canadian people thought that we were criminals, and we basically did a bad boys, what you going to do? They took all of our luggage, went through everything, spoke to each of us separately, asked questions. So, what's the YouTube channel name? What do you do? Who are you here with? Why? I mean, they went through all of our luggage just to they couldn't understand why he had so much jewelry on him, like he had stolen it from the ship. And the guy actually said when he went through Pete's bag, he saw a lot of cologne. He's like, "You have more cologne in here, sir, than I have in my whole house."
That's funny.
It was great.
I know. I've had that experience before. I went through my phone, looking at all my pictures, asking, "Well, don't you think it's weird that a grown man is going to Disney World by himself?" And
I
I'm like,
can't, right. They're a little insulting, but then when they realize you're not a criminal, they're the nicest people. Thank you so much for visiting. Have a wonderful time. It's like, yeah, okay.
yeah. Well, and then he says to me, he goes, "Well, I'm planning a trip to Disney World with my family soon. Do you have any tips?" I go, "Yeah, listen to my show. Watch my here's a pin.
Good.
Here's a button.
Yeah. Don't insult the host. There's a tip for you.
Here's a tip for you." Yeah, exactly. So so Alaska was wonderful.
It really was. Dying, it was other than almost dying. Let me tell you, Disney I need to write them. They need to like take a look at that rainforest tour because some guests one day are not coming back.
Now, did you book that through Disney or did you book that as a
it was a Disney excursion. It was a Mendenhall Glacier rainforest tour.
Yeah.
Do the glacier. Do the Mendenhall Glacier tour. Skip the rainforest. There really wasn't anything to see either.
We went to the sled dog races and puppy where they have all the puppies for the sled dogs. That's what you got to do.
Okay, now Craig and Rhino did that, but they felt bad for the puppies. They felt like the puppies weren't taking care of them.
Oh, really? I didn't feel that at all. Those dogs looked so happy. Like they were just gearing to go. And they have there's a lot of them. I mean, there's a ton of those dogs and they have different personalities. And some of them, they said, you might not want to get too close to that one, but these ones here are very friendly.
Okay. I also know the puppies that they had to have puppies. That was part of the thing. The puppies that they saw were not like huskies. They were like different puppies because they didn't have any husky puppies at the time.
Oh, really?
So that might have been part of it too, where they were showing like other puppy dogs, and you're like, where
are they getting these puppies from?
I know, right? It's hard to have puppies every week of every day.
I know. Yeah. They grow quick. Especially huskies. They get big quick. Those big paws.
Right. Yeah.
So you got back into Alaska. Or sorry,
and we stayed.
Into Vancouver.
And then we stayed again, and I can't stress enough how nice it is to stay a little bit before the cruise and maybe a night after. Just because it's a lot of traveling, and it's, let me tell you, to get on the ship, you go through a process of walking, a couple of miles through this, each steps checkpoint and everything, that by the time you get on, you don't want to come off of a plane, go through that, and then take a cab and then go through that process. It really is nice to stay a night or two in Vancouver. Even if you can't afford the Pan Pacific, go to a different, a less expensive hotel. But the Pan Pacific is just extremely convenient.
Yeah, there is no cheap hotels in Vancouver. Let me tell you that right now.
Then stay at the Pan Pacific and stop what I said.
Pan Pacific's really expensive. But yeah,
I don't even know how. Because it was taken care of for us. I don't know how much it was per night.
Yeah, the first time we went, I've done the Alaska cruise twice, and the first time we stayed at the Pan Pacific, and it was well worth it. It was wonderful. And then we went a couple years later, and the price jumped. So we ended.
Could it have been because of the week or something? Because
maybe, I don't know. I didn't look at other weeks, but it was. The Olympic cauldron. Yes,
it's
funny. I told you to check out the Olympic cauldron without sending you a picture of it.
I didn't know that's what it was. Okay, you say Olympic cauldron. If everybody listening had to draw a picture, they're all going to draw you a cauldron. That is not what this is. This is a bunch of sticks put up to a thing. It's a bunch of sticks, metal and crystal sticks. There is no cauldron.
Well, if you watched the Olympics, you would have known what it was like. If you watched the 2010 Olympics.
Now, did you have to go onto the top of it to light it?
No, I didn't. I didn't light the cauldron. I just
okay.
Torch and passed it off to some. I was in Saskatchewan when I had it.
Okay.
The Olympic flame, but yeah, I helped bring the other to Vancouver though.
The other restaurant next door to that Olympic cauldron was the Cactus Cafe. Again, another really good restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
There's something they're doing with the food in Vancouver that they're not doing in America, and I don't know what.
Did you get the poutine?
We did not get poutine.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
Gosh. You gotta go back.
It doesn't McDonald's? You said have poutine there?
Yeah, McDonald's had poutine. Burger King, Wendy's, Costco. Other than Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is the only place that doesn't. They don't sell fries though at Tim Hortons. Well, you got to go back to Canada.
I do have to go back.
You went to Tim Hortons. How was that?
Okay, Tim Hortons disappointed me a little bit.
Oh,
because I don't know. I think it was, and I have to be honest, the employees at Tim Hortons were just, I don't know, they were kind of aloof. There's a Starbucks next door to Tim Hortons.
Mm-hmm.
The Starbucks was better.
Well, okay.
I don't know why. I got my tried and true. I tried maple stuff at Tim Hortons, and it was okay, but it disappointed me compared to how I prepare Tim Hortons at home. And the people were like, the breakfast sandwich, I wanted bacon, egg, and cheese. They want to put tomatoes and lettuce on it, which just makes your eggs cold, and it was weird.
Yeah.
So I would say, don't do that. It would still come with it. They didn't care. And they would, what kind of bagel do you want? And everything bagel, you'd get it with a sesame bagel. Fine, who cares?
What did you ask for?
Yeah, and it was such a long line. We waited a half hour to order, and then a half hour for the food, and the people were just like, they were overworked at Tim Hortons. They weren't having a good day.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is.
That's too bad. Well, there you go for people that are working in restaurants and listening. You know what? You don't know if it's a person's first visit or not. You want to make a good impression.
But then Starbucks, for some reason, the culture was completely different in there. Everybody was on the ball, getting what you wanted. Still a line, not as long as Tim Hortons. It just felt more professionally run, and I was like, Tim needs to visit.
Mm-hmm.
And people are calling them Tim Burtons. Horton Here's a Who. Nobody knew the name of Tim Hortons. Let's go to Jim Borton's. Like,
what?
Come on.
What
Tim Burton's. Everybody that I was with. It was funny. I heard other people too. Tim Burton. On purpose, yeah. Tim Burton's.
Oh, okay. Tim Burton's. That'd be a good name for a restaurant, actually.
It would be. It would be like Gideon's, like a spooky.
Yeah. Let's open up a Tim Burton's there, John.
A Tim Burton's spooky cafe, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you Tim's thought of it.
I
bet you Tim has thought of it yet.
Probably. Tim Horton or Tim Burton?
Tim Burton. A Tim Burton restaurant would be awesome.
Tim Horton's not around anymore. Yeah, he's long gone. So you getting back to the airport? You took the same type of shuttle back?
Yes, same type of shuttle back. I saw more Vancouver as we were just going through the streets and stuff, and I liked it. I thought it was just a nice, friendly city. Very convenient flights. Also, we went back to Seattle. Very clean city. You know what else I noticed when you crossed the streets? In New York, you don't get any audible stuff if somebody is blind. In Vancouver, they tell you, beep, beep, beep when you can cross, and when you should stop. I didn't know what those sounds were until like day 3, and I'm like, okay, I got it. I know what's going on.
They must have them now in New York.
I don't know. I've never heard them before.
Orlando not have those?
Orlando, that I know of, does not have sound.
Oh, wow. I thought we have them here.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. We also have like on the ground when you're getting close to the curb, like there's like little pebbles. So if you're blind, you'll feel that you don't step onto the street.
I think that is the case.
They're usually yellow. It's usually yellow and it has little bumps on it. And if you're blind with a cane, you'll feel that, and you know not to step out onto the street when you're going down the sidewalk.
Okay, I thought it was there so that in the rain, if I didn't slip with my sneakers.
I think that helps it as well too.
I think so.
For grips and stuff, but yeah.
Oh, and Maltesers, delicious, better than Whoppers. Were Maltesers.
I'll have to bring some out to my American friends when I go, I guess.
Maltesers,
yeah.
I was sad that wasn't part of the box that we got when we did the.
I didn't know they weren't a thing.
I know. I saw everything else too that you had given us.
Yeah. There's I've been watching a lot of videos lately about Canadian foods that you can't get in the US, or Americans trying Canadian snacks. No one likes the Big Turk. What the heck? I love the Big Turk. Nobody likes it.
There's got to be somebody that likes it if they're selling it everywhere.
Well, Canadians like it. They're selling them in Canada.
Oh, and is it Rexall? Was the drugstore there? Rexall? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Where have to pay for a paper bag, like 3 cents or something.
Oh, everywhere you got to pay for a bag now in Canada.
It's like it's a legal thing, I think.
Yeah. There's no plastic bags anymore. At least in my province, we don't have any plastic bags. And
I liked Canada. I have to tell you, I thought Canada was really cool. I mean, I know Vancouver's my only introduction to Canada, but I still thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's the same rate across the whole country. No,
I believe it.
No, it's not. Vancouver's
Did I see the best of Vancouver and the best of Canada? And if I go to other town, I'll be like, oh, disappointed.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, Vancouver is definitely one of the most beautiful. What's up next for you? So people that are looking to go to Vancouver or go to the Alaska cruise, Dreams Unlimited Travel is the place you want to go.
It really is. Not just because you get the same price, but they will actually give you a shipboard credit that you would not get if you went through Disney directly. So dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, and you get a great agent that will stay on hold for you so that you don't have to be on hold. And they really do take care of their people. I was very happy with people that booked with Dreams and how they were telling me, everything was great.
And tell them Stan Solo and John Panda sent you.
Yay!
What's coming up for you? What do you have? What are your
So
plans?
this month, September 17th, we are going on the Fantasy for 7 nights, which
Ooh.
the only reason why I'm very happy about that is, yes, it's the Caribbean, because I love that. I don't have to fly anywhere. I just drive an hour and a half to Port Canaveral and get on the ship, and the magic begins. So that's what I'm looking forward to. October 24th, I do the Wish. That's a personal trip that I booked a long time ago for 4 nights. You know, when you're getting all these free cruises through work, and then you go on one you pay for, you're like, wow, I didn't even need this one that I paid all this money for, because I'm going on so many. So thank God life has been good. So that's
Right
it
on.
for me. Is I got 2
I'm
cruises
so happy
coming up
for you.
in that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Me too. Thank you.
D23 is coming up, and well, I guess it will be out by the time this comes out.
Yeah, you're going to be there, and I'm going to be streaming it. I'm on so many trips. I did not go to D23, so I got to stream it.
Yeah. So we'll be
We'll
done
be
by
there.
the time this comes out. But yeah, I was going to say you'll be covering a lot of content. You got Matt going out for you, or what's happening?
Yes, Matt Dobrovolsky is covering it for BigFatPanda.com. What
Right on.
is the date? What are the dates of D23?
8th,
I
9th,
forgot.
and 10th of September.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So this will already be over by the time we release this. But
So you'll give us an update show anyway.
yeah, it will. Oh, I'm sure I will. Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on. This was great.
Thank you. This was a lot. Well, it's a lot of fun to hear this in the future for me, is that you spoke to me before I went and then after, and it's going to be like this little time warp. I think that's awesome. So thank you so much.
I love doing it this way. I think this is the best way to do trip reports, with the pre and post.
I agree. If you want to do one for the Fantasy in September 17th, when you get back, tell me.
Sounds good. Ken, take it away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to take your turn in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. Tell us your idea for the show, and we'll contact you about a date and a time for you to join us. If you would just like to keep the conversation going or have a comment about a previous show, then visit us on Facebook at The Solo Show. All logos, sounds, and songs that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are owned solely by the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of The Solo Show podcast. We hope you'll join us for the next adventure on The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.